Hey folks, Lonnie here with Cowboy Boots, Hats, and Western Life Enthusiasts. So today I got a video for y'all on a pair of cowboy boots that I bought pre-owned on Facebook Marketplace. These are some Justin Smooth Ostrich cowboy boots, and well, I got them for $50, which is a great price to pay on Smooth Ostrich, and it's just another boot that I'm going to be wearing for riding or working around the barn. So basically, what I want to do with these boots is kind of revamp them and make them my own on a budget. And we'll go ahead and see how we get that done right after this. All right, so at the time that I'm recording this video, we're a couple days away from Thanksgiving. And I don't think I'm going to get these back in time for Thanksgiving because I have to take them to the shop and they got to work on them. The reason why I'm saying that, though, is because Thanksgiving is a great time to wear ostrich boots. It's probably one of the most popular boots to wear, as I see on the page. Everyone wants to wear some ostrich boots on Thanksgiving, I guess, affiliation with the bird. But with that being said, uh, it'll probably be after Thanksgiving when y'all see this video. But I have had these boots for a while, for a few months now, and I felt like it was a good time to do this video right now to bring out an ostrich boot video right around Thanksgiving time. So let's go ahead and see some of the characteristics on these boots. So these are Smooth Ostrich. Of course, the boot is very dirty. Now, the quills you will not see as much. They're not as pronounced on Smooth Ostrich as they are on Full Quill Ostrich. But especially on these boots, you can kind of see them a little bit right here. And a bit more in the back. I'm not sure if the light's hidden just right so y'all could actually see it a little bit there. But ostrich is actually a very good hide to use for stressing. It actually flexes very nice. It's very comfortable. And it kind of looks good, you know, especially when they're all roughed up and dirtied up. That's kind of how I like my boots to be. Now, some of the characteristics on these boots are not my favorite, but I feel like we could go ahead and change that. I do love a project, and I feel why not, for the price that I paid for them, make them my own. So let's go ahead and get into the characteristics of these boots. So these are wide square toe, full leather. Basically, you just got brass nails on the bottom all throughout. Roper heels. It's got a little bit of a spur shelf right here, which will help for what I'm going to use them for, but not much of one. And they are black, full quill, Smooth Ostrich. They do have a toe bug right here. The upper is brown, very nice looking, but they are used boots. It's got cowhide leather interior, and also the heel is hard leather insole, which is what I prefer. So just a good Smooth Ostrich boot. Now, of course, it's going to have your double stitch welt as generally seen on a pair of square toe cowboy boots. Now, what I want for this boot is I want to change up the characteristics of it a bit, kind of make it my own. So first of all, when I first got them, they looked like this picture that I'm going to show y'all right here. Basically, the whole welt and heel were black. I did scrape them off. I scraped off the black, and it looks a heck of a lot better like that. Also, they were extremely shiny right here. So what I did is I went ahead and scraped them up a bit. You could actually see it a little bit better on actually this boot right here. I kind of scraped it up right here. I'm going to finish scraping it up a bit because I just do not like the shiny look, especially on a black boot. it's just too much, and I kind of like to see them patinaed and roughed up. So I kind of pre-rough them. It kind of brings out that grain that I prefer, especially on a working pair of boots that are black. And for $50, it doesn't matter if the leather gets a little bit roughed up. It's fine. It'll live. Especially when I put the spurs on here, it's gonna kind of rough up all that in the back right here. Being that it's smooth ostrich and those quills are not cut as much, it's going to hold up just fine, and it's going to patina really well. Now, another thing that I want to do, because of how wide this square toe is, especially with this big welt, I'm going to try to see if my cobbler could actually get that done, but perhaps cut right in the middle in between the two um, stitch welts right here and make it a single stitch welt if possible. That would be great. Another thing about this boot that I'm not a big fan of is that it's a roper heel, and I will be using it for riding. Roper heels are fine, but it's not my cup of tea. Anyway, the stacks right here are pretty worn out. Looks like they took out the rubber cap right here and then probably scraped one and a half of those stacked leather heel caps. So what I'm going to do, and those are the original heel caps because they still do say Justin right here a bit. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to go to my cobbler and ask him if he could actually stack a few more. Now, what I was hoping to do is get riding heels, which is a lot longer, but I'm going to see if he tells me that that might not be possible because of how the boot was actually designed. Um, Maybe I'm going to be able to make it at least a walking heel. I know he did kind of go over that with me last time and talk to me about that. So hopefully we could make a walking heel out of this, make it a little taller, which will look a heck of a lot better in my opinion. It's going to kind of be like my other boots from Hondo, the bull neck that I've done a video. I'll leave a link to that video in the description below, which is going to be a taller heel, wide square toe with a single stitch welt. And I really do love that. And I feel like if these were like that, it would be a heck of a lot better. So another thing that I want to do is, of course, they're going to have to sand that down a bit, the leather stacks, and maybe put a dark brown finish on it or a buckskin finish on that welt and the heel. And I think at that point it'll look great. So let's go ahead and see how it looks after we get all that done and what kind of budget I ended up spending to actually make these happen. Maybe it'll be a great value after just paying $50 for the boots and them being a smooth ostrich done up the way I want, or maybe it'll be a flop. But we'll find out after this. Hey y'all, so the boots have been back from the cobbler for quite some time now. So basically, I haven't been able to record videos for a while, so we're way past Thanksgiving. Basically, I just moved into a new place, so it took me a while to get everything adjusted and all that. So I didn't really have time to record the video. So we're definitely way past Thanksgiving, which is around the time that I actually went and got these boots to the cobbler. But good thing is I have been able to test them out. A lot of folks I know have been asking me when am I going to record another video. Well, here it is. I am trying to get some more videos out to y'all so you don't think I'm gone. So here it is. I have the boots back from the cobbler for a long time, and I've been testing them and riding them. So one of the things I could tell you is he was only able to bring him up maybe a little bit over a quarter inch. I would say almost a half an inch more is what he was able to do without messing up the integrity of the boot, because if I would have gotten them a little too high, it wouldn't have been good. So he pretty much went and kept stacking it until he couldn't stack it no more. and if not, it would really feel awkward. Now, at first, I could definitely feel it when I put it on my feet that the boot is raised a little differently. Again, this boot was not designed with anything more than the intentions of making it with a roper heel. But now I stacked it up a little bit. So at first, it definitely felt it. Um, I was, feeling it a little bit, but not too bad. He really did a good job knowing that that would be the case. Now, I did tell him to rough it up and maybe make a smooth ostrich rough out. Well, that didn't really work out all that much. That's what I really wanted to do. But he actually told me, "Hey, I might mess these up," and I'm like, "Well, I don't care if you mess it up. Just go ahead and try to make a rough out of it." And he tried, and he said, "No, that's not really going to work. There's a different process on exotics, I guess, that manufacturers do, and it's probably a very harsh thing, and maybe needs some more chemicals to do that." So that's one thing. Another thing that I wanted to do, and I initially said in the beginning part of this video, was maybe cut out one uh, part of the stitching on the welt. And he said that is another thing that's not going to happen. He said if he starts going to cut that, well, that's just going to be a problem. There's not enough separation. It's going to really mess with the integrity of the boot, and who wants that? So he did rough it up. So again, if this is a boot that you guys are planning on, keeping and whatnot, I would recommend not to actually do this to rough it up or try to make a rough out of it. It's just not going to happen. Or if it does, it'll probably be very expensive and with a very knowledgeable cobbler or boot manufacturer. Um, and another thing is, uh, I should have told him, but I didn't know, and I will tell him next time because I actually do plan on making all my roper heel boots uh, stacked up about half an inch as this is because I really liked it. He actually he stacked it with a bunch of rubber pieces. I wish he would have actually put leather stacks on it to continue it, but he just literally stacked it with rubber pieces, which kind of almost still looks like it's rubber or or roper heel because that kind of takes away from it. But it is stacked higher. It is more of a walking heel or riding heel. Now, uh, does it matter? No, not really. It's still going to be a riding heel. To me, it looks better, but it definitely would have completed that walking heel look if it would have actually been uh, leather caps right here. So he just put one of these things on the bottom, one of these rubber caps. Um, but overall, the boot surely does feel comfortable and it looks really, really good for a riding boot and a boot that has that patina and is all roughed up. Let's see how they look on my foot. All right, so here they are. We're going to try them on. Now they slip right in. Definitely have broken into the new way of them stacking. So definitely, as you can see, it's a lot taller than it was than what a traditional roper heel would be. So here's the side profile from the front, other side, a little bit of this angle, and here it is in the back. All right, let's get back on top. All right, so would I recommend doing this? Well, it cost me about $70. So in my case, yeah, I definitely recommend doing this as far as stacking up the heels. Um, These pairs of boots cost me $50. Like I said, the heel was completely shot, so we needed new heel caps anyway. Cost me about $70. So you figure 70 plus 50, you're at about $120. You ain't gonna find a pair of ostrich boots like this for $120. So do I recommend it? Yes, absolutely, I do. But it also depends on your situation. If you love wide square toes, chances are you're not going to find a whole lot of wide square toe boots that are not roper heel. It's very hard to find. So if it's time for you to replace your heel cap, might as well spend an extra $20, depending on your collar, of course, and get that extra stack. Um, Now, again, you do have to go to a cobbler that knows what it's doing, because he could just listen to you and just stack it too high, and then it just won't fit the geometry. Just know that there is a break-in period for this. So even if you've already broken in your boots while they were a roper heel, you're going to need to re-break in your boots in order for them to actually work in this new geometry, because you're kind of changing the geometry of the boot. The boot is no longer standing like this. It's now standing, a little taller in the back. So the bend's going to be different, and that just has to break in. So you're just definitely going to have to break it in. And it goes the same for everything, depending on the type of leather you have. Whether it's ostrich, it's going to break in a little easier, just the same way as anything. If you have elephant boots, well, that's going to just be a little harder to break in. Um, but yes, that is one of the things. Now, if it's worth it for you, if you like riding heels or walking heels, then yes, definitely it's a very good upgrade, especially if you need to replace your heel caps. For me, I'm going to be doing that with my Anderson Beans and every other square toe boots that I have when it is time to replace the heel cap. But besides that, there's no other reason to really do it unless you really want to. So, do I recommend it? Yes. If it's something that's important to you, I definitely do recommend doing that. But just know not to do it too much, because it will definitely feel very uncomfortable on your foot. So that is all I have for y'all today. If you liked the video, please hit like and subscribe to the channel. We'll catch you on the next one.